Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are here at Agenda Free TV to bring you live coverage as the U.S. Congress certifies the election results. That's coming up in 36 minutes. Oh, you know what I have? Oh, no, I can't use that. But we're going to have live coverage for you. We are going to have live coverage, live video coverage as Congress, in a joint session of Congress, officially counts the electoral votes and officially certifies Trump as the winner of the presidential election. So we are bringing you coverage of this. It's been a busy morning because we were just on the air covering the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying he's going to resign. And now we are covering this. So thank you for being here. We're going to have live footage for you of the joint session of Congress. And Vice President Harris will be presiding over this session, as Mike Pence did 4 years ago. Thanks, by the way, to Peasy Wheats for the gift memberships, and also Jeremy Hufford and PN, our new member. And shout out to our moderators, Beth Mythical, Ruth Krafasi, Misunderstood. Thank you. Over there on YouTube, and all of our other YouTube moderators. On Twitch, we have Bash and Girl, Big Ball of Yarn, Good Luck Duck, McBritches, Certainly Dev. Hold on a second here. And all of our other Twitch mods. And on Facebook, we have... Oops, hold on a moment here. Give me one moment. Kay Lowry Body, Christina Neal, Margaret Riley. Thanks for being there. All of our mods. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Let me do something real quick. All right, so we will have live footage. We're going to have live video for you of this proceeding. Okay, let's talk about what happens. Let's talk about what happens in this proceeding. I'm going to give you some background here. Take some of your comments on the air. Oops, let me do this. I have an article I'm going to show you. It gives a little background here. Well, this is a very... Oh, sorry, that's the wrong thing. Congress to certify election results 4 years after January 6th attacks. Congress will soon gather at the U.S. Capitol to certify the results of the 2024 election 4 years after the January 6, 2021 attacks. That was 4 years ago today. And despite an ongoing snowstorm that has ground most of the capital city to a halt, both the Senate and the House are slated to briefly open for business at noon before adjourning and then gathering in the House chamber at 1 p.m., 32 minutes from now, to count the electoral college votes affirming the election of Donald Trump as president. Vice President Harris will preside. The proceedings, generally regarded as a formality in the transition process, something you just go through because you're supposed to, but without any real importance, that don't really cause any change to anything. The proceedings were infamously disrupted 4 years ago when rioters supporting Trump breached the Capitol in an effort to stop Joe Biden from taking office. Congress is required by the Constitution to gather on January 6th after the election to open the sealed results from each state in a presidential contest. A new law passed in the wake of the 2021 Capitol riot clarifies that the vice president's role in declaring the winner of the count during the process is ceremonial. Trump has pledged to pardon many of the more than 1,500 people charged with crimes connected to the riot in his first hour of office. First hour in office. Trump's inauguration will occur on January 20th on the west front of the Capitol. We will cover the inauguration too here. So again, this is mandated by the Constitution that this happens. Oh, there's a photo too. A man uses a Bobcat truck loader to plow snow before senators and representatives attend a joint session of Congress to certify the Electoral College votes. There's the photo. Maybe like this. There's the photo from the Washington Post of the snow at the Capitol today. If Kamala Harris won the election, would she be presiding over her own? I assume she would be. I don't know if that's ever happened before. Well, was there a case when the vice president won the election? This probably should be obvious to me, and off the top of my head, I don't remember. Yes. The last one would be Nixon. Oh, and also Bush. Oh, and Biden. There have been, I just looked it up, there have been 6. John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Martin Van Buren, Richard Nixon, George H.W. Bush, and Biden. So did... Oh, no, but that's not the specific question. The specific question was a vice president who's been elected while they were president, while elected immediately after being vice president. Immediately after being vice president. That was my question. George H.W. Bush, there have been 4, I believe there have been 4. I looked it up and I'm getting a result of 4. John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Martin Van Buren, and George H.W. Bush, who was VP under Reagan and then got elected president in 88. So in 1989, did George H.W. Bush preside over the count of the electoral votes? I would assume the answer is yes. I believe he did. I would have to look it up to see if I'm sure there's like pictures of it and stuff. Oh. Hold on a second. I found out that he did not. I guess he did not. I'm reading something that says he did not preside over it in 1988. I just saw something saying he didn't. I'm seeing different things. I don't know if he did. I have seen conflicting information online. Anyways, I don't want to get hung up on this. Oh, hold on a second. Here, look. I found an article. Yes, CNN says that Bush presided over the electoral vote count as the sitting vice president in 1989. He was the first sitting vice president since Martin Van Buren in 1836, who had been elected to be president. All right, anyways. I'm going to take some comments from you guys, but Let me show you this. We're going to have live footage for you, live coverage of this. Oopsie. How Congress will certify Trump's Electoral College victory on January 6th. The mahogany boxes that will hold the electoral votes are on display in Capitol Hill in December. Those are the mahogany boxes that will hold the electoral votes, says AP. What else do they say? There's another picture of the mahogany boxes that will hold the electoral votes. That's a close-up of the mahogany boxes. The congressional joint session to count electoral votes on Monday is expected to be much less eventful than the one 4 years ago that was interrupted by a violent mob of supporters of Trump who tried to stop the count and overturn the results of an election he lost to Democrat Joe Biden. Kamala Harris will preside, the vice president will preside over the certification of her own loss, fulfilling the constitutional role in the same way that Trump's Vice President Pence did after the violence subsided on January 6, 2021. The meeting is required by the Constitution and includes several distinct steps. Under federal law, says AP, Congress must meet on January 6 to open sealed certificates from each state that contain a record of their electoral votes. The votes are brought into the chamber in special mahogany boxes that are used for the occasion. I wonder how old these mahogany boxes are. Bipartisan representatives of both chambers read the results out loud and do an official count. The vice president, as president of the Senate, presides over the session and declares the winner. The Constitution requires Congress to meet and count the electoral votes. If there is a tie, the House decides the presidency. That hasn't happened since the 1800s. It won't happen this time because Trump's electoral win over Harris was decisive, 312 to 226. Jeff says, happy January 6th day. Jeff H. Abel says, Harris will certify her own loss. Thanks to Kay Rando for your support. Thanks to Leslie Ladyhawk and Peasy Wheats and Russ B, our new member. AP points out that Congress has tightened the rules for certification after the violence of 2021 and Trump's attempts to usurp the process. In particular, the revised Electoral Count Act, passed in 2022, more explicitly defines the role of the vice president after Trump aggressively pushed Pence to try and object to the Republicans' defeat, an action that would have gone far beyond Pence's ceremonial role. Pence rebuffed Trump and ultimately gavelled down his own defeat. Harris will do the same. The updated law clarifies that the vice president does not have the power to determine the results on January 6th. Harris and Pence were not the first vice presidents to be put in the uncomfortable position of presiding over their own defeats. In 2001, Vice President Gore presided over the counting of the 2000 presidential election that he narrowly lost to Republican George W. Bush. In 2017, Biden, as vice president, presided over the count that declared Trump the winner. The presiding officer will open and present the certificates of the electoral votes in alphabetical order of the states. The appointed tellers from the House and Senate, members of both parties, then read each certificate out loud and record and count the votes. At the end, the presiding officer announces who has won the majority votes for both president and vice president. What if there is an objection? After a teller reads the certificate from any state, a lawmaker can stand up and object to that state's vote on any grounds, but the presiding officer will not hear the objection unless it is in writing and signed by 1/5 of each chamber. That's different from 4 years ago. The 1/5 of each chamber to make an objection threshold is significantly higher than what came before. Previously, a successful objection required only support from one member of the Senate and one member of the House. Now you need 1/5 of each chamber, which would be 20 senators and what would it be, 87 House members? Lawmakers raised the threshold in the 2022 law to make objections more difficult. If any objection reaches a threshold, something not expected this time, the joint session suspends, and the House and Senate go into separate sessions to consider it. For the objection to be sustained, both chambers must uphold it by a simple majority vote. If they do not agree, the original electoral votes are counted with no changes. In 2021, both the House and the Senate rejected challenges to the electoral votes in Arizona and Pennsylvania. After Congress counts the votes, the president is inaugurated on January 20th. The joint session of Congress today is the last official chance for objections to the electoral count. Beyond any challenges in court, Harris has conceded and never disputed Trump's win. So that's a summary of what's going to happen today. Do I have a live shot I can give you yet? We're going to have a live shot. But I don't have one yet. Let me make sure I don't have one yet. But we're going to have live coverage. Coming up in, I think hopefully the video starts in about 5 minutes. Yeah, I can only show you what I have the rights to, but I think my coverage. Well, let me check something here. Hold on a second. Yeah. As soon as the joint session starts, I will have the coverage for you. We covered the Trudeau story already. So if you want to go watch it, you can go watch. We did a whole stream on it. We had his announcement. We talked about Trudeau resigning as the Prime Minister of Canada. So feel free to go watch that stream. Jeff B. said, didn't Democrats say they were not going to certify? No, I have not heard any Democrats say they were not going to certify the election. I don't know where you're getting that from, Jeff B., but I have not heard that. Thank you, Jeff B., for your support. Thank you also, Mark Nordhausen. Thanks, Mark. And thank you, Jeannie B., our new member. Janine B., our new member. Let me take some more comments from you guys. No, this is supposed to go smoothly today. Now, maybe you'll have certain members get up and say stuff, but remember, for an objection to actually be considered, you need 1/5 of both houses of Congress to make the objection. And I don't think that's going to happen. Some of our viewers said Jamie Raskin said it. Well, I have not heard any kind of reporting suggesting that Democrats are not going to certify the election. There's nothing that one member of Congress can do. AP has an article, no January 6th disruptions are expected as Trump's win boosts Republicans' faith in elections for now. Look, Jamie Raskin said, there will be no violence. There will be no attempt to mount an insurrection against the Constitution. It will be a lot more like what we've seen for the rest of American history. Well, that doesn't sound like Jamie Raskin saying. That seems like the opposite. Some of our viewers said Jamie Raskin said that the Democrats aren't going to certify, because that quote is the opposite of that. I mean, that article is from yesterday. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I found an article from Reuters from last November, and Reuters wrote, a quote about not certifying the election if Trump wins has been falsely attributed to Jamie Raskin. A spokesman for Raskin on November 6 said the congressman accepted the results of the election won by Trump. The quote falsely attributed to Raskin was shared ahead of Election Day and reads, let folks cast their votes for Trump if that's their choice, but mark my words, we won't be certifying the election. He might win, but we'll ensure he doesn't set foot in the Oval Office. Raskin on his account on November 5th said, this fictional quote is 100% fabricated. So I'm not going to get into all this now. The Wall Street Journal also has here an article about that too. Here's the Jamie Raskin post from November 5th. This fictional quote is 100% fabricated. It's one more lie in the stream of right-wing lies designed to undermine the election. All right, that's what he had to say about it. That's from November, by the way. Okay, hold on a second here. Uh, 13 minutes until I should show you this. In the meantime, 13 minutes until the 13 minutes and 45 seconds till the joint session of Congress, which we'll have video of. In the meantime, hey, let me show you something. Hold on a second here. I have live video of mourners paying their respects to Jimmy Carter at the Carter Center. Yes, we're going to have video of the Congress session. Hey, this right here this is at the Carter Center in Atlanta. So let me show you this real quick while we're waiting for the video from Congress. That is mourners paying respects to Jimmy Carter. I believe the state funeral is in 3 days. We may cover the funeral too. That is at the Carter Center. Well, I think, and eventually the casket's going to go to D.C. I believe. But I just wanted to show you that for a second. Yes, his my understanding is that the casket will go to D.C. Yes, according to Wikipedia, yes, the casket will end up going to D.C. And he will lie in state at the Capitol from January 7th till January 9th. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a shot of that. But we are here to cover the joint session of Congress, certifying the election results. And that is going to start in a few minutes, and we will have live video for you of Congress certifying the election results. Oopsie, we don't need that anymore. There we go. We want this and then this. Kamala Harris, as president of the Senate, as vice president, will be presiding over the ceremony. Roger Shoemaker says, rest in peace, Carter. Oh, I had something else about this I was going to show you that I had seen. Little background from the Washington Post. Congress is set to certify Trump's win on Monday. Here's what to know. Monday's activities in Congress are expected to be largely uneventful. Congress has to meet in a joint session to unseal the electoral vote records from each state. The process, though largely ceremonial, is mandated by federal law and is a largely somber but relatively quick affair. The sealed votes are escorted across the building and are carried in large mahogany boxes, and the votes are opened and presented in the state's alphabetic order. As the outgoing president of the Senate, Vice President Harris will preside over the count and announce Trump's win, marking a significant moment given that she will oversee the certification of her own loss in November. Unlike Trump and most congressional Republicans in 2021, Harris and Democrats have widely accepted the results of the 2024 election, so the process is expected to unfold without any major hitches, as it historically had before January 6th, 4 years ago. The 2022 Electoral Count Reform and Presidential Transition Improvement Act, which was passed by Congress with bipartisan support in response to the insurrection, one of the things it did is it raised the threshold necessary for members of Congress to object to a state's electors, raising the requirement to at least 1/5 of the members of both the House and the Senate objecting to the results. Before of the 2022 law, objecting to a state's electors required only one member each from House and the Senate. By the way, you might have wondered, could they have had it on a different day due to the snowstorm? To change this date, Congress would have to pass a law rescheduling the joint session. But that did not happen. I am waiting to get video. As soon as I get the video, I will give it to you. As soon as I get the video from the joint session, I will bring that to you and show it to you live. So in a couple minutes, I think in the next few minutes, I think the start time of the session is 1 o'clock Eastern. So maybe they'll start, maybe we'll get the video a little early. But as of right now, no video yet. But we're going to be bringing you live coverage of this ceremony. Thank you, Miss Pac-Man 1974, for your support. Our viewer, Stuartron, says, how is Mike Pence doing these days? Has Trump posted on True Social about this morning? Hold on a second here. Oh, by the way, Trump just posted about Justin Trudeau on True Social. Justin Trudeau resigned today. Well, he announced he was going to resign as soon as the Liberals pick a new leader. Many people in Canada love being the 51st state, says Trump. The U.S. can no longer suffer the massive trade deficits and subsidies that Canada needs to stay afloat. Justin Trudeau knew this and resigned. If Canada merged with the U.S., there would be no tariffs. Taxes would go way down, and they would be totally secure from the threat of Russian and Chinese ships that are constantly surrounding them. Together, what a great nation it would be. So Trump is still pushing for Canada to merge with the U.S. He just posted that. I don't think general sentiment... I have not heard that general sentiment in Canada is for merging with the U.S. Anyways, that's what Trump posted about that. That was posted 3 minutes ago. Jamie says, pretty sure it's sarcasm. I don't know. He said this kind of thing multiple times. Wildcat Mahone says Canadians would never go for it. Oh, so Trump 4 hours ago said, Congress certifies our great election victory today, a big moment in history, MAGA. He said that about 4 hours ago. All right, we're waiting to get the... Oh, I got the video. I got the video. I got the video. Hold on. I got the video.
Mr. Speaker.
I got the video.
President of the United States Senate.
There is Vice President Harris, the President of the Senate. So she's going to be presiding. And there's Speaker Johnson. Here we go, guys. Here we go. It's a joint session of Congress, House and the Senate together. They're going to announce, they're going to count the electoral votes. They're taking pictures. They're taking pictures. Give me a quick moment here, sorry. So we're they're gonna go through each state's electoral votes and count them and certify Trump the winner. Four years ago was the January 6th insurrection that tried to stop this process. Tyler says, I'm here for the objections. Well, I don't know if any individual members for it will object, but for an objection to actually be accepted and debated, it would require 1/5 of the members of both the House and the Senate. So that is not going to happen. Because the law has changed now. It used to be one member of the House and one member of the Senate. Now it is 1/5 of the members of each branch, each House, because of a 2022 law change. Hippie Mimi says, I would love a little drama though, LOL. Jelly Plane says, do they really have room for everyone? Hey, thanks to Anthony Poff for being a member. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Who Shot JR, for your support. Babelicious says, whoa, here we go, guys. It's all happening on the 6th of January. There's Chuck Schumer at the bottom. There's Schumer down there. And there's Katie Britt, Senator Britt. This is the Capitol. Dan Heaton says we need term limits. That's what our viewer Dan Heaton says. Hey, thanks Shauna Brennan for the gift memberships. I appreciate it, Shauna Brennan. MB Trend says, what a day. Martina MSCH thinks it's embarrassing for Dems and Harris. Jan Nissen says, any chance Putin is watching this event? Thank you to David O. our member. That throwable guy says, crazy how non-violent this is compared to last time. Thank you, Michael Burmester, for being a member. So there's Steve Scalise there. Jake Sherman says J.D. Vance is on the floor. There's Hakeem Jeffries. Hey, thanks another drummer, Texas. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks also to Tracy Fichter, our member. They're about to start. There's Vice President Harris, the President of the Senate, and Speaker Johnson, House Speaker Johnson. They look like they're getting ready to start. Probably not an easy day for Kamala Harris. There's J.D. Vance. There's Vice President-elect Vance right there. There was Marjorie. Was that Marjorie Taylor Greene? I couldn't see. Here we go.
And the House come to order. Mr. Speaker and members of Congress, pursuant to the Constitution and laws of the United States, the Senate and House of Representatives are meeting in joint session to verify the certificates and count the votes of the electors of the several states for President and Vice President of the United States. After ascertainment has been had that the certificates are authentic and correct in form, the tellers will count and make a list of the votes cast by the electors of the several states. The tellers on the part of the two houses will take their places at the clerk's desk.
Here we go. All right, typo. Sometimes happens.
Action. Without objection, the tellers will dispense with reading formal portions of the certificates. After ascertaining that the certificates are regular in form and authentic, the tellers will announce the votes cast by the electors for each state, beginning with Alabama. Senator Fisher.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Alabama seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 9 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 9 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Alaska seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 3 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Arizona seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 11 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 11 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Arkansas seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of California seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 54 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 54 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Colorado seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 10 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Connecticut seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 7 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 7 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Delaware seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 3 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the District of Columbia seems to be irregular in form, inauthentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 3 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Florida seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 30 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 30 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Georgia seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 16 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 16 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Hawaii seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 4 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Idaho seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 4 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Illinois seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 19 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 19 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Indiana seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 11 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 11 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Iowa seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Kansas seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Kentucky seems to be regular in form and authentic, and appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 8 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 8 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Louisiana seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 8 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 8 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Maine seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 3 votes for president, and Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 1 vote for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 3 votes for vice president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 1 vote for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Maryland seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 10 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 11 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 11 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Michigan seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 15 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 15 votes for vice president. Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Minnesota seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 10 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Mississippi seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Missouri seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 10 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Montana seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 4 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Nebraska seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 4 votes for president, and Kamala Harris of the state of California received 1 vote for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 4 votes for vice president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 1 vote for vice president. Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Nevada seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of New Hampshire seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 4 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of New Jersey seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 14 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 14 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of New Mexico seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 5 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 5 votes for vice president. Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of New York seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 28 votes for president. Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 28 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of North Carolina seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 16 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 16 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of North Dakota seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 3 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Ohio seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 17 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 17 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Oklahoma seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 7 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 7 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Oregon seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 8 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 8 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 19 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 19 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Rhode Island seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 4 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of South Carolina seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 9 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 9 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of South Dakota seems to be regular in form and authentic. And it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 3 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Tennessee seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 11 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 11 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Texas seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 40 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 40 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Utah seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance from the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Vermont seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 3 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Virginia seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 13 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 13 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Washington seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala Harris of the state of California received 12 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 12 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of West Virginia seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 4 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the great state of Wisconsin seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 10 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Wyoming seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 3 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
Members of Congress, the certificates having been read, the tellers will ascertain and deliver the result to the President of the Senate.
The undersigned, Deb Fisher and Amy Klobuchar, tellers on the part of the Senate, and Brian Steele, and Joseph Morelli, tellers on the part of the House of Representatives, report the following as the result of the ascertainment and counting of the electoral vote for President and Vice President of the United States for the term beginning on the 20th day of January, 2025.
The state of the vote for the President of the United States, as delivered to the President of the Senate, is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes. The whole number of electors appointed to vote for Vice President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, a majority is 270. The votes for Vice President of the United States are as follows. J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio has received 312 votes. Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota has received 226 votes. This announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration of the persons elected, President and Vice President of the United States, each for a term beginning on the 20th day of January 2025, and shall be entered together with the list of the votes on the journals of the House and the Senate. Thank you very much.
There you go. It is certified. It's certified. Are they going to adjourn the session? We'll watch what happens. But that's it. We heard the reading of all the electoral votes.
Of the joint Senate having been concluded pursuant to Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 2, the 119th Congress, the chair declares this joint session dissolved. Thank you.
There you go. The joint session is over. The joint session is over. One of our viewers said that was easy. Yeah, that's usually what it goes like. It is usually like that. So we heard all of the electoral votes read, and the ceremonial congressional certification of the election is complete. Dean R. says, now get back to work. April Lee Wax Queen says that had to have been hard for Kamala Harris. Sinking Ship says how it should go. What else here? Josh Glasner said, good job, Kamala, respect. Raina Hood says no violence. There were no objection. Nobody even tried to make an objection. Nobody even interrupted. Nobody interrupted. Thank you, Bebop and Rocksteady, for your support, and Tay Lin and Dewey 1851, our new members, and Bert, our new member, and Peasy Wheats for the gift membership, and also Pops Wanting Kitty Cat, our members, and Flexburger, Jeff H. Grish, another drummer, Texas, Tracy Fisher, for your support. Our members Eric Johnson, Michael Burmester, David O. And thanks Casmira Flanagan for your support, and Joe South Oz, our member. Yeah, interesting to see that. They read the states off in alphabetical order. Pascal Van Waveren watching from Poland. So where does Kamala go now? One of our viewers said. What will she do next? What will Kamala Harris do next? I don't know. Let's see here. E.W. Tipton says, "We the people have spoken." Maddox says, "Great day for America." Lethal Old Fart thinks she will end up on MSNBC. Stasha Morgan thinks there's nothing positive about this. Justice N says nothing positive about democratic process working successfully. Cindy J says she could run many times more. She's young. She could run for something else too. You can see J.D. Vance there. Wise Optical, our viewer says, smooth transition. Daphne says, I predict she'll run for governor of California. KB Longhorn says, after that long day, it's time for a 2-week vacation. James Dameron says, why did they address her as Madam President? Because as Vice President, she is the President of the Senate. Tracy Fichter says, "Isn't there a snowstorm in DC?" I know it. I believe it has been snowing there, but they were determined to have this anyway. Yeah, DC has got snow today. Washington Post says they've gotten 4 to 8 inches, but they are still having this. This ceremony, which is supposed to happen on January 6th. They could have moved it, but they wanted to have it today. FVM Mind Killer says already over. Yeah, what did that take? About a half hour? Probably took about a half hour. I was going to see if I could find, we were talking before about whether George H.W. Bush had presided himself over the counting of the electoral votes when he won the election as the vice president. And I've seen some different things. I was going to see if there's an actual video of it. I mean, CNN has an article saying he presided over the electoral vote count. I bet there's video of it.
Senate concurrent resolution
whoa.
19th Congress, the electoral vote will be spread at large upon the journal.
That was live. Anyways, I can't find video of it. I was trying to, but I've seen different things online. Oh, well, C-SPAN has a clip of George H.W. Bush. Yes, C-SPAN has a video posted, and it says Bush, as the sitting vice president, presided over the joint session of Congress to count electoral votes from the 1988 presidential election. There's literally a clip posted by C-SPAN. I'll post the link to that in the chat, but you can look at it. When do the cabinet picks happen? I think you probably mean the cabinet confirmation hearings. I saw an article suggesting that the confirmation hearings could start next week, but I don't know for sure when they're starting in the Senate. I'm guessing we'll cover those too, or some of them at least. Oh, AP says Hegseth confirmation hearing on January 14th. I just saw that. Let me try to get you something about that. Well, in December, AP said that the Hegseth confirmation hearing is expected to be January 14th.
For what purpose does the gentlelady from Michigan seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, by the direction of the House Republican Conference, I send to the desk a privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 13, resolved that the following...
I ask unanimous consent to dispense with the reading.
This is just, I think,
Without objection,
normal
the
House
resolution
stuff.
is agreed to and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
I think.
What purpose does the gentleman from California seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, by direction of the Democratic Caucus, I offer a privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 14, resolved that the
Mr.
following
Speaker, I ask
members
unanimous
be-
consent that the resolution be considered as read.
Without objection, the resolution is agreed to and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Michigan seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that when the House adjourns today, it stands adjourned until 11 a.m. tomorrow, January 7th.
For what purpose does the gentlelady from Michigan seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House do now adjourn.
The question is on the motion to adjourn. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. According to the House, the stands adjourned until 11 a.m. on Tuesday, January 7th, 2025.
All right, the House session is adjourned. Yeah, I don't know that there is a exact schedule. There you go. The House of Representatives has adjourned until 11 a.m. Tuesday. I don't know that I don't believe there's been an exact schedule put out for the confirmation hearings yet. But I had read that they may start next week in the Senate. So, yeah, I would like to cover that, assuming I have video of it. But again, I don't believe we have an exact schedule for that yet. Thank you, by the way, to Junie Cortez, who says for your support. Junie says, political views and points aside, it is this due process that makes me proud to be an American, a tradition that will carry on for many more years and administrations to come. God bless America. Thank you, Junie. Thanks also to Barb Mack from UK, who says, I learned about another interesting U.S. tradition. Thanks for being a member, Barb Mack. And also thanks, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I don't know, there were a couple of resolutions there they brought up. I don't know what those were about. It seemed like, I just don't know. I mean, it didn't seem like anything that was too big a deal. I'm guessing there was no big surprises there or anything. But oops, I know what happened to the text is the headline, I changed it on the other scenes and not on this scene. So I gotta fix this up. Hold on a second here. Just do it this way. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on in the House and Senate, procedural stuff and things that get passed and all that. I don't know what the couple things mentioned there, but they did adjourn the session of the House until tomorrow. Oh, Mike Pence posted, guys. Hey, guys, Mike Pence, who 4 years ago presided over this ceremony as the vice president and did not rejected Trump's request to get in the way of the certification. Mike Pence posted and said, the peaceful transfer of power is the hallmark of our democracy, and today members of both parties in the House and Senate, along with the Vice President, certified the election of our new President and Vice President without controversy or objection. I welcome the return of order and civility to these historic proceedings and offer my most sincere congratulations and prayers to President Trump and Vice President Vance on their election to lead this great nation. I also commend the members of the House, Senate, and Vice President who did their duty under the Constitution of the United States, it being particularly admirable that Vice President Harris would preside over the certification of a presidential election that she lost. May God bless our new President and Vice President of America and their families, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. There is a statement from Mike Pence. Reuters is reporting that Donald Trump Jr. is heading to Greenland, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump Jr. is heading to Greenland, where he's reportedly due to meet the chairman of the governing party. Yes, Donald Trump's son is headed to Greenland. According to KNR, which is Greenlandic Broadcasting Corporation. That is Don Jr. I think maybe in the U.S. it's pronounced Greenland. I think it's more Greenland pronunciation in the U.S., not Greenland. Greenland? Anyways. I just saw that for whatever it's worth. Let me see if I have any other updates for you. Oh, by the way, also, just to show you this, Trump denies report that his team is eyeing pared-back tariffs. This is from Reuters. President-elect Trump said today that a newspaper report, he denied a newspaper report that said his aides were exploring tariff plans that would only cover critical imports, deepening uncertainty among business leaders about future U.S. trade policies. The Washington Post had claimed that Trump aides were exploring a narrower approach to tariffs focused on critical certain sectors. Trump said the story in the Washington Post, quoting so-called anonymous sources, which don't exist, incorrectly states that my tariff policy will be pared back. That is wrong. The Washington Post knows it's wrong. It's just another example of fake news, he said on True Social. The Post had reported that Trump aides were exploring tariff plans that would be applied to every country, but only cover certain sectors deemed critical to national or economic security, in what would have represented a marked shift from promises Trump made during the 2024 presidential campaign. U.S. and European stocks rallied today on the newspaper report and remained up despite Trump's denial. Trump had vowed to impose tariffs of 10% on global imports into the U.S., along with a 60% tariff on Chinese goods, duties that trade experts say would upend trade flows, raise costs, and draw retaliation against U.S. exports. He later said he would impose a 25% tariff on Canadian and Mexican imports on his first day in office, which could lead to sharp increases in the cost of gasoline. The aides said the plans are in flux and have not been finalized, according to the Washington Post. Well, we'll have to see what happens. I'm sure we'll be reporting on various parts of the on various Trump activities once he takes office. Mark Westbrook says Trump is the man. Welcome back. Make America great again. Primate Burden says, "Wait for the I can't wait for the show to begin." Well, guys, Trump has been certified as the winner of the election by Congress. We just saw it. As you can see, that Reuters headline there. Dewey says, this was my first January 6th ceremony. Shaft says, I'm wondering what the executive orders on day one will be. I am sure we will have inauguration coverage and day one coverage. That's just 2 weeks from today. We might have some coverage before then of the Senate confirmation hearings. If I get video of it, we'll do coverage of the Carter funeral. All kinds of things happening. TJ Adams says, I'm so excited for Trump to take office. Mary McHugh says, more backpedaling on his campaign rhetoric, LOL. What is this? Oh, Kamala Harris is supposed to speak. Hold on, Kamala Harris is speaking. Harris is speaking. I can show it. Kamala Harris is speaking. Hey guys, Kamala Harris is going to speak after presiding over the certification. Hold on.
It'll probably be something like this far away.
Kamala Harris is about to speak. Thanks to Heather N., our member. Thanks Free Speech for your support. Thanks Janet Burnett for the gift memberships. We are waiting for Kamala Harris to speak. Thanks Oxytropis for the bits on Twitch. Thanks to Bad Toastery for subscribing on Twitch. Thanks Jack's Animals for subscribing.
Bob,
So Kamala Harris is about to speak.
DA8 is flashing to black, not on our end, but on theirs. So just make sure we record this because we might have to refeed. Cool.
Oh, thanks so much, Bebop and Rocksteady. Bebop and Rocksteady thinks the Democrats' attempt to make January 6th a big issue didn't land. Thank you, Bebop and Rocksteady. We are waiting for Vice President Harris to speak after she presided over the certification of the election results. Thanks to Levi Morris, our new member as well. Thanks, Levi. Harris to speak momentarily. CNN says Harris is meeting with House Democratic leader Jeffries.
Like they were saying to us, this all could change, but that's the plan. Okay, so just do it. So we're hanging, we're waiting.
Here we go.
All right, we're waiting. I think she said they'll take one or two. She'll take one or two questions. Again, we're waiting for Kamala Harris to speak live. Thank you for being with us. Whoa, language. Somebody there used some foul language. By the way, we come on the air all the time for breaking news. I can't tell you in advance when we're coming on the air, but we actually have a notification system that's free where you can sign up for notifications through our notification system. It's done through Discord, and the mods can post the link to the notifications in the chat. And you can also find the link in the description of this video on Facebook and YouTube. But sign up for the notifications. That way you can send a notification whenever we go live. They work really well. Thanks to all of our moderators, too, as we wait for Kamala Harris any moment now. She's supposed to speak. Kamala Harris. All right, hold on a moment. Let's see what they're saying here. Thanks to our moderators. Over there on YouTube, Beth Mythical, RJ, Ruth Krafasi, Sabrina, Roberts May Queen, thanks. Linda Belk and Larry on X. On Twitch, Bash and Girl, Big Ball of Yarn, David Green, Good Luck Duck, I Got That Fire, McBritches, Surly Dev, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, Paul Anderson, Ronald Egnor on Facebook, Christina Neal, thank you. We are waiting for Kamala Harris to speak. Hey, thanks Captain Jerry Donnelly, who says, Happy January 6th. Thanks Captain Jerry Donnelly for your support. I appreciate that. Yahweh always says she's going to say, I'll be back. Oh, and thanks so much to Bebop and Rocksteady. Thank you, Bebop and Rocksteady, for your support and for shouting out the mods. Remove thinks she will use this to announce her next move. By the way, the National Weather Service Los Angeles posted this as we wait here. I'll show you this as we wait. National Weather Service Los Angeles said, a life-threatening, destructive, heads up, a life-threatening, destructive, widespread windstorm is expected Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning across much of Ventura, LA County. Areas not typically windy will be impacted. See graphic for areas of greatest concern. Stay indoors, away from windows, expect power outages. It includes places like Pasadena, Burbank, San Fernando, Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Simi Valley, Sylmar, Porter Ranch, Altadena, La Crescenta, and Malibu. I'm just reading the list off there. Keep an eye on that. Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning. Life-threatening, destructive windstorm. Stay away from windows. We're waiting for Kamala Harris to speak, by the way. I mean, if there's big news, I'll live stream for it. I mean, I'm going to wait and see what happens. So we could do a stream on it depending on what happens. Celeste says, I can send you updates on this. Thank you. But we'll see what happens with it. I'll keep an eye on it. Stay safe, anybody there. what I'll do is, while we're waiting for Harris to speak, I'm going to actually look up on the National Weather Service site, see what their warning is. So the National Weather Service says near the Hollywood Hills, north to northeast winds 25 to 40 miles an hour with gusts up to 60 miles an hour. They say the highest chances of strong and damaging winds are the Palos Verdes area, the Hollywood Hills and Beverly Hills, and areas adjacent to the Sepulveda Pass. The National Weather Service says damaging winds could blow down trees and power lines. Widespread power outages are possible. Travel could be difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. So again, we're still waiting for Kamala Harris to speak. She's supposed to speak at any moment. That's supposed to happen Tuesday afternoon to Wednesday morning, that LA area windstorm. Ford Fisher just, there's this huge police presence and security presence in D.C. today. Ford Fisher just posted a video, which I'm not surprised at, outside the Capitol, that just shows a few protesters there. I'll post a link to Ford's video. So that's why we're waiting. We are on the air, waiting for Kamala Harris to speak after she presided over the certification of the election results, certifying her loss in the election. I'm going to actually put up here, I'll say, awaiting Kamala Harris remarks. There we go. Awaiting Kamala Harris remarks. Rhombus head says if a fire starts it's over. Yeah, there's fire weather warnings in the LA area too because of this wind. Hold on a second. I see some movement there. I see people walking by. Yeah, there's a fire weather watch, for example, for Los Angeles area, Tuesday night and Wednesday, which you can read about at NWS Los Angeles site. The National Weather Service says widespread damaging north to northeast winds and long duration of red flag conditions likely over many portions of Los Angeles and Ventura counties between Tuesday and Thursday. Red flag warning in effect for much of LA County and southern Ventura County mountains, eastern Ventura County valleys from 10 a.m. Tuesday to 6 p.m. Thursday. Fire weather watches remain Thursday night into Friday. A red flag warning means warm temperatures, very low humidities, and stronger winds are expected to combine to produce an increased risk of fire danger. Again, we are waiting for Kamala Harris to speak live. CNN is also saying Harris expected to speak soon. That's what CNN says. Harris expected to speak soon. Appreciate you guys being with us for our live coverage. New Yorican Joseph says, I'm here for Kamala. If you missed it, we covered earlier, we did a live stream on Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying he's going to resign as Prime Minister. So if you want, you can check out that stream. Oh, the camera's moving. It seems like it's going to start shortly. If the camera's moving a little bit. Jeff Turabaz says, not looking forward to the wind. I live in Ventura County. Stay safe there. We are still waiting for Kamala Harris to speak. It's supposed to be at any time. That's why it's a live shot from Reuters. I don't have an exact time. It's supposed to be at any moment. As soon as she comes out, that's when she'll speak. I'm waiting along with you guys. Thomas Darwin said, I heard her? Did anybody else hear her? No, nobody else is saying they heard her. Just one of our viewers. I didn't hear her. The dude says, thought I heard her as well. Corina says, I honestly thought I heard her earlier. That guy's on the phone on the right. He's on the phone. He's looking out the window. Miss Mariona says, I think someone sounded like her. I thought the same thing. The dude says, about 5 minutes ago, it sounded like her. The camera's moving. The camera is moving again. The camera's moving again. Every time the camera moves, I think she's going to speak because it's like, why is it moving? I would think it's moving because she's about to speak. If you missed it, we covered the certification. You can go back and rewind and watch it. But we are sticking around to bring you Kamala Harris. She presided over the certification of her own election loss just a little while ago. By the way, President Biden is traveling to New Orleans, I think today. Yes, he will be in New Orleans today. He will be one thing he'll be doing is attending a prayer service for peace and healing in the aftermath of the terror attack there. Am I covering Venezuela January 10th? No, unless some kind of huge news happens. I believe, what's his name? Maduro is getting inaugurated on February 10th, but I'm not going to cover that with a stream. But if there's some kind of big unanticipated news from there, I will cover it. Drunken Saint says, this is an interesting day. Somebody's walking by. Julie Sirkin of NBC News reports that since she left the House chamber, Julie Sirkin of NBC News says since Harris left the House chamber after presiding over the certification of President Trump's win, she has been huddling with Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries in Hakeem Jeffries' office 40 plus minutes now. The Democratic whip, Catherine Clark, is also in there. So 5 minutes ago, Julie Sirkin from NBC News said Harris had been with Democratic House leader Hakeem Jeffries in his office for 40 plus minutes. I guess as soon as she comes out, she'll speak. Molly Morgan says, I wonder what they're talking about.
Well, I'm about to check the Senate. The House, I guess they're not doing it. Yeah, I think everyone's got it. Yeah. So Senate is also doing it. So once this is the only thing. Nothing else. The House said they adjourned. Oh, wait. Well, Senate, yeah, they have to.
LA County Emergency Management Office says that the windstorm that's supposed to happen on Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday afternoon to Wednesday morning, LA County Emergency Management Office says this is shaping up to be a serious event. Be prepared for damaging winds, extended power outages, and fast-moving wildfire. Jackie Morgan says, I'm right in the middle of that windstorm. We are staying live to bring you the remarks by Vice President Harris. Holtstrand, our viewer, says these are difficult times to be a moderate Republican. When will she come out and speak? That person is there. That person is walking by. AP says Biden will visit New Orleans today. AP says it's likely to be the last time Biden travels to the scene of a horrific crime as president to console families of victims. He has less than 2 weeks in office. AP says Biden's trip began with Air Force One starting its takeoff from inside a large hangar instead of on the tarmac as thick snow covered the ground at Joint Base Andrews and snowplows worked to clear the runway.
She'll come out. I think she'll leave, and then they'll go to
I hear some people using the word she. Maybe they're talking about her. You know what I didn't know happened today? Edmundo Gonzalez, who I feel comfortable saying the evidence suggests actually won the Venezuelan election, which the evidence suggests Maduro stole. He is the opposition candidate in the Venezuelan election last year. He met with Biden today. That I did not know. Maduro is supposed to be sworn in for a third 6-year term on Friday. AP points out that unlike previous elections, the electoral authorities in Venezuela did not provide detailed vote totals. However, the opposition collected tally sheets from more than 80% of the nation's electronic voting machines, posted them online, and said they showed Gonzalez had won the election with twice as many votes as Maduro. The U.S. and most European governments have rejected the election's official results and consider Gonzalez the legitimate winner. Oh, I see the camera moving. The camera's really moving. A bunch. Why are people in chat says she's speaking at 4? I have seen nobody saying she's speaking at 4. I have not seen that anywhere. I don't know why somebody in chat said she's speaking at 4. Where is that from? I haven't seen it anywhere. I mean, Reuters is only covering this now because they believe she's speaking soon. CNN a little while ago said she's supposed to speak soon. CNN literally right now is saying she's expected to speak soon. So I don't know why the one person in our chat said 4. I have not seen that report anywhere. Molly O says MSNBC says soon. Could we really have somebody in our chat saying something that they don't have good evidence for? Does that ever happen in our chat? Where somebody in our chat just gives false information that they haven't properly researched? In our chat? No. No way. I would not expect that in our chat ever. Fleeky Beat says never. Shy Town Bear says not Twitch chat.
4 a.m. is the cathedral, and I'm not joking. It's 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Are you inside or out? I'm inside. Yeah. But it says no later than 8 a.m. So I'm getting there at 7:40. Yeah. I'm outside. That's it. Probably better. You'll get somebody with actual. I did outside stuff. Yeah. Somebody more official. No, I agree with you. It's probably getting a real. It says arrival time before you and then after 4 to 8 a.m. Yeah.
We're going to see what happens.
Getting closer. We should look more alive now.
That person just said she's getting closer. You should look more alive now. Hear that? Somebody said she's getting closer. We're getting closer.
I see another leadership member coming in here. When the booth comes outside.
You just heard it.
Hey, come on, Greg. You too.
Did she say 2:45? I couldn't hear. Thanks, Aaron McCune, for being a member.
No, I'm not at all. Oh, sorry.
Heads up, here we go.
I'm not ready.
Here we go.
Well, today was obviously a very important day, and it was about what should be the norm and what the American people should be able to take for granted, which is that one of the most important pillars of our democracy is that there will be a peaceful transfer of power. And today, I did what I have done my entire career, which is take seriously the oath that I have taken many times to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, which included today performing my constitutional duties to ensure that the people of America, the voters of America, will have their votes counted, that those votes matter, and that they will determine then the outcome of an election. I do believe very strongly that America's democracy is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. Every single person, their willingness to fight for and respect the importance of our democracy. Otherwise, it is very fragile, and it will not be able to withstand moments of crisis. And today, America's democracy stood.
Madam Vice President, what's next for you? Are you on for governor?
There you go.
What's next for you?
Somebody said one next for you. No questions. No questions. That was it. All right. We got to hear what she said. She said she did her duty. So there you go. We got to hear her speak.
Yeah, let me check with him in a second.
Oh, I have another video. I have another thing for you. I have another live video for you. Hold on a second. Coming your way. This is Trump supporters. Supporters of Donald Trump gather outside of the U.S. Capitol to mark the day that Ashley Babbitt died while participating in an attack on the Capitol. These are supporters marking the death of Ashley Babbitt 4 years ago.
All right, January 6th, let's gather in prayer. Professor.
Do you guys know who Taylor Toronto is?
Professor.
I bet you do. Hughes was stealing money from the J6ers? Or was that Randy Ireland? And Taylor Casanova?
All right, those that are with us, let's gather in prayer, please, for those that lost their lives that day and the patriots that stood up for this country.
No. All right, dear Lord, we just thank you for this new season of hope, and we thank you for a different anniversary where the proper due president was certified, and we pray for a pardon for all J6ers day one. And we just want to be mindful of all the people that have lost their lives, including Ashley. We come here to honor her and the other lives that were lost. And Lord, we just pray that you would pour your blessing over the group here today, that this would just be a time of peace and reflection. And we just give all glory to you. In Jesus' name, amen.
In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much. I would like everybody to take a flower and a flag and lie it around the perimeter as you will. The flowers are right here. We'll start handing them out.
We have a whole bunch.
I already have the 3.
We have a whole bunch too.
Oh, I bet Brandon needs to go too. Why don't you go ahead? Excuse me.
Do my best to make it. I'll see you tonight.
All right. I know. And we'll go back and allow people. Here you go, man. You go ahead.
Great job, David Clemens. Great fucking job.
That is outside the Capitol. Live now.
You guys never know how to de-escalate people.
Evermore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's almost as much press as there is people, protesters.
was the girl who
David Valentine, Tommy Tatum. Where's Tommy Tatum? Oh wait, he can't come to D.C. Ha ha! Cyber stalking. He finally got it. Huh, Rebecca? You guys have nothing but terrorists there. You guys support the worst of the J6ers. You continue to support the worst of the J6ers. You love Ashley Babbitt! 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 Ashley Babbitt!
All right. I want to thank everybody for showing up to commemorate the lives that were lost that day. Ashley Babbitt, a hero in America. We're going to go back to the corner tonight, and we're going to celebrate all those patriots that showed up for their country that day, and I invite you to join us. That's right. Let's go! Let's go! Sorry.
Fort Fisher loves all the Proud Boy Nazis. You love them. Always with the Nazis. It's almost like you're the Nazi.
What's up, Defender of Ed? Scientology supporters. They harbor pedophiles just like this group.
Hey, if it's so bad, why don't you do something about it? Try to bitch about it, you know what I mean? You don't though, you're just an instigator, that's all you are. Fucking bitch.
Defender of ants. DOA.
So not a lot of people out there.
No, you can't treat these people with respect
Some.
when they don't deserve it. That's the problem with our side, we're too fucking nice. That's the fucking truth.
Sorry about the language.
Cowards. Our side's a bunch of fucking cowards. We are. That's how we got here in the first place to this situation. I mean, luckily Trump won, luckily. But how do you think we got Biden to start? How do you think we got Kamala Harris as a Democrat nominee in this country?
Sir, I have been fighting this war for 4 years.
4 years, that's it?
Yes.
It took you so fucking long to realize what's going on.
For 4 years, I have been fighting it.
I'm glad you are, but don't get me wrong. It took you so fucking long. How old are you? Are you 30 yet? If you're too young, that's excusable. If you're too young.
Since the overthrow of the government 4 years ago, I have been fighting.
Okay.
I would die, I would kill if necessary, but I would not curse because I am more disciplined, and so should you be. You need to be disciplined and be proper.
Stop, get off your high horse for a minute. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Some good shit, all right?
Sir, I am a nobody. I have no...
We all here. No, all of us are nobodies here.
Just please, do not stoop to their level. Please.
What does that even mean?
Well, they have been persecuted. They have been denied due process.
You're a loser,
So the one other thing, as we watch this live video from Washington, D.C., there is supposed to be a press conference in 10 minutes by Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leaders in the Senate and the House, to mark the anniversary of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. And I don't know yet if I will have access to that. So I'll stick around to see if I have access to that footage, which would begin in 10 minutes. I don't know if I will, but I'll find out one way or the other in the next 9 minutes. Can we replay Kamala Harris? Do you want to see what she said again? Harris? Oh, thank you to the Zool Grunt. Thank you to the Zool Grunt for your support. I appreciate it. Kamala Harris spoke for like a minute. I'll leave this up for right now, and let me just see if I have that other. Let me see if I have the other press conference. I'll have to just see. But I'll know really soon about that. Not big crowds out there right now. If you give me 1 second here, what I'll do is so again, this is a live shot in D.C. This is a live shot in D.C. where we just saw some people having some sort of memorial / protest thing to mark the 4-year anniversary of the death of Ashley Babbitt, who was among the protesters who entered the Capitol and got shot and killed. In 5 minutes, there's supposed to be a press conference with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to mark the anniversary of January 6th, but I need to figure out if I will have access to it. So I will know that in the next 5 minutes. In the meantime, I'm showing you this live shot here. Oh, all right, so I think that live shot is over. So we'll see about the press conference, if I can get you that. And then the other thing I'm going to do is, real quick, while we wait 5 minutes, is let's just, this takes about 1 minute. I'm just going to replay what Kamala Harris said a short time ago. So this is a replay of what Harris said. It's not live, it's a replay. Moments ago. And then we'll see if we have that press conference for you. We'll see. Okay, here she is moments ago, Kamala Harris. Well, I have to turn the volume on for you to hear it. Let's try this.
Today was obviously a very important day, and it was about what should be the norm and what the American people should be able to take for granted, which is that one of the most important pillars of our democracy is that there will be a peaceful transfer of power. And today I did what I have done my entire career, which is take seriously the oath that I have taken many times to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, which included today performing my constitutional duties to ensure that the people of America, the voters of America, will have their votes counted, that those votes matter, and that they will determine then the outcome of an election. I do believe very strongly that America's democracy is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. Every single person, their willingness to fight for and respect the importance of our democracy. Otherwise, it is very fragile, and it will not be able to withstand moments of crisis. And today, America's democracy stood.
Madam Vice President, what's next for you? There you go. All right, so that was Kamala Harris, okay? Now, what I'm trying to do is see if I can get you this press conference from Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. I'm going to find out in the next minute or two, I think, if I have video of this press conference. So bear with me. Bear with me. It's not exactly clear, but I'm hoping to have it. I just need to kind of keep refreshing here to see if it pops up. I think it should be here. Will it be there? We'll see. Adrienne says she looks a bit disheveled. You know, it was probably a very difficult day for her. She had to preside over the certification of her election loss. Okay, again, just waiting to see. Oh, I got it. I got the press conference. It's here. Our coverage continues. Look at this. Look at this. There it is. We're about to watch a press conference from the Democratic leaders of the Senate and House about marking the anniversary of January 6th. So we'll see what they have to say. We're bringing you extended coverage today. I appreciate you watching the coverage. We are waiting for Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. Bonus coverage. Thanks so much to our moderators, Ruth Krafasi, Roberts Mayqueen, over there on YouTube, and our other moderators there. Kay Lowry Body, Christina Neal, Margaret Riley, Paul Anderson. On Facebook, thank you, Ronald Egnor, Linda Belk and Larry on X. Over on Twitch, Bash and Girl, Big Ball of Yarn, David Green, Good Luck Duck, LB Prairie Dawn, I Got That Fire, McBritches, and Surly Div. Thanks to Who Shot JR for your support on Twitch, too. We're waiting for this press conference right now. Somebody's playing a video there or something. I don't know why that's happening. Turn the sound down for a second till they come in. I see somebody standing there. Let's see here. Emily Gooden of DailyMail.com says, a source confirms to me that Donald Trump Jr. is making a quick trip to Greenland, but no, he will have no official meetings. Jennifer Jacobs reposted this. Emily Gooden said he is popping in for a quick day-long trip to shoot some fun video content for podcasting. Thanks to NY Committee, our member. Thank you, NY Committee. We are waiting. There's supposed to be a press conference at any moment now from Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, the Democratic House and Senate leaders, talking about the anniversary of January 6th. So I did want to show you some of this. Dutchson says Greenland, a one-man invasion force, might actually work. Girly Doe says allegedly he's going to be with Aiden Ross tonight. I haven't heard that. I don't know. I'm not up to date on that. All right, we're waiting for this to start. It was supposed to start at 3. That's when it was supposed to start, 3. It's now 3:03. I don't know. We'll show the whole thing. We'll see how it is. We'll start and we'll see how it is. I'm just waiting along with you guys. I'm not going to wait an hour for them to start. So it better start soon. This is bonus coverage. We're giving you some bonus coverage. I mean, it's January 6th. It's the 4-year anniversary. So I think it's worth showing some of this. It's the Chuck Schumer. It's the Democrat leaders in Congress press conference about the anniversary of January 6th. Mr. Halaudry says it better start soon or we riot. Don't do that. Thanks, by the way, to our subscribers over there on Twitch, people like Wall Street and Shaggy, Chi-Town Bear, David Green, Bogan, Drunk Can't Cook, and all of our other subscribers over on Twitch, Rocky Coast, Zach Attack, our Facebook subscribers, Eve Richards, Diane Allworth, Margaret Riley, Kay Lowry Body, Robert Rial II, and others. Our YouTube members, as we wait here for this press conference to start, Bell Again, Newscrasher, Chris McBride, Frank Fortina, Kathy Paina, Michael Burmeister, Bell Again, CAC 813, Civlap, Chris N. Nicholas Sprouse, Barry Rabbit, NY Committee, Songbird Batman, Mike Kelly, Ronan, Paul S., Baby Blue Sky, AO, Fred Flintstone, all of our other YouTube members, thank you. Oh, thanks to Fred Flintstone for the gift memberships. That's so nice of you, Fred. Thank you. Is this going to all fit on the screen here? We're awaiting the, there's a typo. The Democratic Congressional Leadership Press Conference on the January 6th anniversary. Which was supposed to start at, it says Schumer and Jeffries hold a news conference to mark the anniversary of the January 6th attack at the Capitol. That's what Reuters says. Dutch, that is incredibly generous of you. Wow. Dutch Sense has made a very generous donation. Thank you, Dutch Sense. That's very kind of you. Thank you. And thanks for shouting out the mods, too, Dutch Sense. Really nice of Dutch Sense. Thank you. Really appreciate your guys' support. Lets the channel exist. So thank you so much. C.L. Duran likes the extended coverage. The New York Times says Trump said today he plans to replace the head of the National Archives. The agency whose leader, New York Times said it's the agency whose leaders' concerns about Trump's decision to hang on to boxes of documents after he left office ultimately led to a federal indictment. One of our viewers said Schumer was speaking on Fox. Well, this is a scheduled press conference that he and Jeffries are having. I just turned it on Fox News and I don't see them there right now. Maybe he just spoke there. I'm not sure. But, again, this was supposed to start at 3 o'clock. It's now 3:11. I'm looking at Fox the last 10 minutes and I don't see him speaking there. What happened to the person who told us that Kamala Harris was speaking at 4? What happened to that person? Which was just wrong. It's on Fox Live now? Or are you sure that's actually live then? If it's on Fox Live now, they could be showing a rerun of him speaking. Uh-oh. Now I'm confused. Fox Live now is showing something live. But Reuters says they're showing it. Reuters says they're holding... It's very strange. I'm literally showing you the Reuters live video, and it says, Schumer, Jeffries, mark anniversary of January 6th attack on Capitol. Now, I am seeing Schumer and Jeffries speak, but they are not at this location. And they are on Fox Live now, right now. So this is very... Are they not having... No, now they stopped having them. They stopped showing them. I don't know if, did they end up not speaking at the location that Reuters thought they were speaking at? It's very confusing. They might be done. It might. So again, I don't know. I don't know if they said something in one place or they're coming here or just that was it. But Reuters didn't even have the video of it. Because I'm literally showing you the Reuters live video right now. And I told you that's what it was supposed to be. So maybe it's not happening. Maybe instead of doing the press conference at this location, which is, I believe, where they normally would have press conference, they did a more impromptu thing. I don't know. No, the page is refreshed. Yeah, they were in the hall. They were in a hallway, exactly. Normally, Reuters would not post an event like this and have a video like this and have it say, Schumer, Jeffries, mark anniversary of January 6th attack on Capitol, unless they thought it was going to be there. But maybe they got bad info. And it said a news conference, but maybe it's just not happening. We'll give it a minute and see what happens. So again, I'm sorry. Now, how long were they speaking for? Let's see. I don't think it was that long. So Fox Live now showed something. Can't even get a time code here. They were in a hallway. And then Schumer spoke. For like 2 minutes. But see, people are still at this location. And then Hakeem Jeffries spoke for like a minute or two. And that was it. Maybe it's still happening. We'll see. This video is still live. They haven't, if they really think it's not happening, they'll just stop this video. But Reuters is still live. So we'll wait a minute and see what happens. I mean, if it's not happening and they stop it, then we know, I mean, if they stop it, we know it's not happening. The hallway video was on C-SPAN. Yeah, I don't have the rights to show that. I mean, it does seem kind of weird they would speak in the hallway and then not speak here, but I am seeing people in here. Look, people are walking into the room. People are coming into the room right now. One of our viewers, Mama Yoli, says, did they get asked in the hallway and waited this presser? I mean, this looks like it's happening. But maybe not.
We were in front of a big window also, so I need to use my big light.
It's very confusing. I mean, it is possible that Reuters had bad info on where it was going to be. But we're going to see. Are they leaving now? Or are they leaving? Well, yeah, I didn't have access to the hallway footage. Let's see if we can hear what they're saying. What are they saying? Are they packing up or are they coming in?
It was really more so because they didn't know how it was going to be set up. So I knew I could do anything with this. I didn't want to get in a situation.
Yeah, you don't want to be. The most important moment of your life.
I mean, I had a light, I had everything because I didn't know. And then they ended up just saying it's more set up like a spray. It's like, well, leave all this shit up there. But then I kind of wasn't really set up because now all my stuff is on the cart ready to go. It's not already like, you know, so I'm trying to build everything and plug it into the lobby on the way down.
Yeah.
So good, it worked out.
Kind of sounds like it's not happening here. Doesn't that what it sounds like? It kind of sounds like they're not, that they did the really short thing. What's that guy doing right there? Is he setting up or not? There's that guy. But Reuters is still live. That's the weird thing. Also, there's like some weird music, TV music playing in the background. Yeah, G. Ferraro says saw it on C-SPAN. Yeah, I did see it. I saw a clip of it on Fox Live Now, and it was like a 5-minute thing. So my guess is maybe it's not happening here because they already did it. So what'll happen is I'll go off the air and then it'll happen. I mean, it's not a big deal either way. I wanted to show you, but it looks like maybe it's not actually happening. Well, it's not happening here as well as that short other thing. I'm going to check those YouTube channels just to be sure. Schumer's and Jeffrey's YouTube channels, but I don't see it there in either. Well, guys. Yeah, one of our viewers said it was posted on, I can't steal the C-SPAN footage, but you could go watch it on C-SPAN if they have it posted there. Anyways, well. That guy's still there, whatever that guy's doing. I'm just confused as to why they still have the, why is the video still going? I'm going to ask Reuters. Rome says he's just the janitor. Passing says cleaning clue. I don't know. You know, the one and only says the video's on. I say, wait, it's really strange. It's just, the thing is, Reuters doesn't have like a 24-hour-a-day feed there. Reuters is only live right now. This is a Reuters live video. They are only live to cover this event. That guy's still there. Maybe it's happening. That guy's still there. Because normally they would just, if they think the video, if they think it's not going to happen, they'll just end the video. They don't stay live, Reuters. They have different videos at different times. So it's still live. Yeah, the one and only. I'll wait a couple minutes. I don't even know if anybody's still watching, but I'm going to wait a couple minutes and we'll just see. Bridget thinks it's still happening. See what we can hear. But they haven't ended the stream yet. That guy's still there too. Look, there's another guy still. He's still there. That guy's still there. Oh, he's putting his jacket on. He's putting his jacket on. Melissa Sibanjic thinks it's happening, don't leave. T-Wiki says he's staying inside where it's warm. What, is he leaving or not? I don't know. I messaged Reuters to try to get an update as to whether this press conference is happening. Candace says it's live on other sites. Don't leave. That's what Candace says. All right. Well, for now, we'll stick with it. We'll stick with it for now. What other sites is it live on? On official website, it says delayed. Which is what site is that? Nobody has said where they saw any of this information. Excuse me. Where is it listed as delayed? Ryan says it's listed as delayed. Where are you guys seeing this? Where are you seeing this? Can someone tell me where they saw delayed? No, no one can say. What is the official site? Nick says delayed in the official site. What is the official site that you're looking at? The official what site? The Senate press conference official site? That's what I don't know. Oh, Reuters says we expect them soon. Reuters says we expect them soon. Breaking news. I just got a message from Reuters saying we expect them soon. Well, maybe it'll happen. How about that? No one ever said what the supposed official site they saw it on. More people there. This is our hopefully bonus coverage. The Reuters mentioned that they hold a moment of prayer outside the room before the conference. Bald Eagle says, I have realized, and people should realize, that nothing in Washington starts on time. The joint session of Congress today to certify the election started right on time. Uh-oh, what happened? Why'd it go black? What happened? Reuters, where's your feed, Reuters? What happened? Maybe the person at Reuters had bad information. I don't know. The Reuters shot just went black. What happened, Reuters? They're still live. Now it's really confusion. Now it's very confusing. It's a live shot, but it's black. Well, we'll find out in a second. I literally got a message from Reuters 5 minutes ago saying it's starting soon. Bill Leslie says the breaking news is broken. We're waiting to see if we have coverage of this press conference. Normally, when it goes black, they'll put something up. It's very strange to have it just be black. That never happens. Again, they'll put up some message saying live feed has ended or more live coverage coming up. Candace Jorgen says it went back on NTD News too. Well, maybe the NTD News was using the Reuters feed. That's what I assume. Oh, so by the way, I think I figured out what happened. Julie Sirkin just posted a video from a short while ago when Jeffries and Schumer were in the hallway. And that was the prayer. They were doing the House chaplain was with them. And they were saying a prayer. But then Reuters said that we expect them, that was before the conference, and we expect them in the conference. So that thing that was on Fox News Live apparently was like them saying a prayer in the hallway and then making some quick comments. But that wasn't the news conference. And now it's just black for some reason. Well, we'll see what happens. We've come this far. Will we actually see the conference? No one knows. No one knows. Kamala Harris, we already showed. That already happened. That happened a while ago. That ended up happening. I'm going to check in with Reuters again. It ended. There you go. It says it ended. So I guess they never had the conference. Wow, this is really messed up. Well, it's not. What can I say? Guys, I did the best I could. I asked Reuters themselves. Reuters told me. And we saw that I guess maybe it's not happening. I don't think Reuters was lying. I think Reuters genuinely thought it was happening. But you know what? I guess it was scheduled and it never happened. I'm sorry. The live event ended, guys. Well, I'll talk to you, but the stream is still going, but when it says the live event ended, 99 times out of 100, it really is ended. So I'm very sorry. I'll see if I get any more information, but I have a feeling they're just not having it. That's what it seems like. Toastmaster says, I feel used. I was telling you guys the information as I got it. But looks like they're not having it. That's what it looks like to me. Maybe if I get off the air, they'll have it. Anyways, I just thought it was, since it's the January 6th anniversary, it would be worth showing that. Oh yeah, it's gone. It's over. I can tell. They've ended the stream. Well, I really apologize. Again, Reuters said it was happening. When I checked it again with them, they said it was happening. Looks like it's canceled. But anyways, look, if you missed it, we covered the certification. You can go watch it that Congress did. We showed of the election. We showed you Kamala Harris afterwards speaking. We did a whole stream earlier on Justin Trudeau. Saying he's resigning from Congress as the Prime Minister, saying he's resigning as the Prime Minister of Canada, and we showed that. So that is, I think that's all I have for you right now. So I do apologize. Believe me, I have no intention of sticking around and having the coverage go longer unless I really think something is happening. But that didn't happen. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys being here for our certification coverage, election certification coverage. And feel free to go back and watch it if you missed it. And if there's more big news tonight, I'll come back on the air and do another live stream, right? So subscribe and follow Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news here without an agenda. And once in a while, we think something's happening and it doesn't happen. But normally when we think something is happening, it does happen. But subscribe and follow. And also, I will post updates on my X account, which is here, at Lookner on X. There it is right there. So you can follow me there, at Lookner on X. And I will post updates during the day and night there. And but I really appreciate you being with us for our coverage today. And thanks for letting me read your comments on the air and sending comments in and sending me news updates. Appreciate that. And big thanks to our moderators who are amazing. They're awesome. Oh, you know what I'll do is, as we sign off, I'm going to show you a live shot of the White House, of the weather. Hey, look, we have a live snow shot for you as we sign off. This is exciting. It's a live snow shot. Come on, that's fun. Oops. Let's see. Hey, thanks to our moderators who have been here. I really appreciate it. They're the reason that we can have chat rooms. We couldn't have chat rooms without our mods. They're keeping it civil and respectful over there. Ruth Krafasi, thank you. Roberts May Queen, Misunderstood. All of our other YouTube YouTube moderators. My brain has stopped working. Linda Belk and Larry on X are Twitch moderators like Big Ball of Yarn, Bashing Girl, David Green, Good Luck Duck, LB Prairie Dawn, I Got That Fire, McBritches, Surly Dev, thank you. Thanks to Big Dog Gaming for your your support on Twitch too. And more T Vickers. More T Vickers are? Or Mort Vic Sr.? Thanks for your support on Twitch. And Scott Zero To Do for your support on Twitch. Thank you. And our Facebook moderators, Margaret Riley, Kayla Ribati, and Paul Anderson, Christina Neal, Ronald Egnor, thank you. Thanks to everybody who donated too. That is awesome of you guys. Super nice of you. Dutch and everybody else who donated. That's really kind of you. Fred Flintstone and everybody else I thanked earlier. That is what keeps our channel on the air. So thank you so much for your support. If you ever want to donate, you go to agendafree.tv. Agendafree.tv, but big thanks for your support. Quite a different January 6th than 4 years ago, huh? Very, very different. Let's see here. And we'll have future coverage of the inauguration coming up and probably confirmation hearings. Lots of stuff going on in D.C. If I have video, maybe we'll do coverage of the Carter funeral, and we'll see what else happens. But more D.C. coverage to come. Turn on notifications. We have a free notifications system. It works awesome. It sends you a notification whenever we go live, because I don't know in advance when we're going live. It depends on when breaking news happens. So if you don't want to miss a stream, make sure you sign up for the notifications. The mods will post that link. And it's you can also find it in the video description of this video on Facebook and YouTube. And at the same link, you can check out our free Discord chat where you can chat with other viewers while we're not on the air. That's on Discord. A lot of our viewers like doing that. It's the same link as the notifications. Check that out. Thanks to our Discord mods. Appreciate you. And hey, just a reminder also, if you watch on YouTube, I would suggest turning the YouTube notifications on for this channel, because that can help give you a heads up when we're live. But if you do want to turn the YouTube notifications on, there's something you got to do. It's confusing. If I can get it to pull up here. Here we go. It's slow. If you are a YouTube viewer, I'll pull this up in a second. Oh, by the way, on X, Agenda Free TV is at Agenda Free TV. I post updates there about when we're going on the air. I always post when we're going live there, and scheduling updates and info by the channel. So Agenda Free TV on X. I posted like last night that we were going to cover this today on the Agenda Free TV X. So you get a little advance heads up over there. See? Planning on covering Congress certifying the presidential election results on Monday. I posted that last night. Also, oopsie. Oh, for our YouTube viewers, if you subscribe on YouTube, make sure you have the bell checked and the all checked to get all notifications. Why is this all slow? Again, to get the notifications on YouTube, after you subscribe, click the bell and then choose all notifications. Okay. We got that mentioned. There's the lovely picture of Washington, D.C. Just to shout out again, because you're awesome. Thanks to our Facebook subscribers. Eve Richards, Diane Allworth, Kayla Aribadi, Margaret Riley, Robert Rial II. Thanks. Twitch subs, thank you guys. Oops, I know what happened here. Wall Street Shaggy, Bogan 04, Jack's Animals, David Green, Daddy Dino, Chi-Town Bear, Integrity Farmer Bob, Dubai Whips. Thanks for subscribing and supporting over there on Twitch. Agra Jog TV, Drunk Can't Cook, Bad Toastery, and also our YouTube members. UV Lightning, Patricia Grace, CAC 813, just to name some. Queen of the South, Yahweh Always, Lewis R., Chris N., Ronald Kane, The Dude, J.K. Senar, Cheryl Simpson, Marty Hagwood, New Eurekan Joseph, Terry Bryant, Janet Burnett, Jersey, Texas, Pat W., Kathy Paina, NY Committee, J.K. Senar, all of our YouTube members, thank you. Van Gambler, Mary McHugh, and all of our viewers. AMG 982. Mr. No said, no storming is boring. Thanks, Kenny K, for watching Fweeky Beats. Paula Thompson, Dennis McNeely, Sarah Smile over there on Facebook. Thanks for watching. David Karshan, Ann Bowman. C6, thanks for watching. Erlon Bailey, Brendan Bruman, Barry. All right, guys, we are wrapping it up. Thank you for watching our certification coverage of the election. Again, if there's big news tonight, then we'll come on the air and we'll cover that as well. All right? But that is it for now. And again, so I'm very sorry that that press conference did not work out. Thought it was going to happen. It didn't happen. What can I say? All right, guys. So that is it for now. But I'm sorry it didn't work out. But we did our best. We tried. That is it for now. You've been watching our live coverage of Congress certifying the presidential election. And we will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.